Good morning. Such a beautiful day after all the wind New Mexico had the last week. Um, I know some of you farther east of me, got some really horrific winds this last week as well. So I hope you guys were stayed safe and recovered well. Um, my name is Michelle Vidal. I'm the owner of Resonant Essentials and the author of the book Mastering Metaphysics: The Essential Foundations and Principles. We're doing chapter 10 today and talking about angels, spirit teachers, guides, and guardians, and what can they do for you? What is it that they do? If you like our channel, please like, share, and follow. Subscribe. Um, Max is being a little bit of a pickle today, so we're going to hope he gets down and stays down the rest of this next 15 minutes. So I wanted to read a little bit about it from what I wrote and then go a little bit more in depth because it kind of lends itself into next week's talk about prayers and what everything is. How do we pray? How does that work for us? And one of the things that needs to be addressed is we keep looking at spirit to create our needs, and give them to us, make them, help us get more money, help us get a better job. So today we're going to be talking about that. This is on page 101, and it's captioned Spirit Teachers and Your Material Needs. One of the driving needs on earth is money. This and love are the two mandates we as humans feel are necessary to make our lives better. When we seek money, monetary abundance, we forget that we may have some karma with money. For example, we may not have been a good steward of our money in other lives. We may have been greedy, a spendthrift, or money could have possibly created such a nice life that we became lazy, causing us to forget why we are truly here. It could also be we don't deem ourselves worthy of abundance in this life, so we create a life of lack. Another form of currency in other lives was bartering. It was the tool for the exchange of services. This shows that money was not necessary to feed ourselves or our families. In spirit, we understand that there is no lack, only abundance. While on earth, we create our world from our thoughts and what we have learned from our families. If, for example, you think you need to experience lack, you will. We are the creators of every moment of our lives. Not having enough can make someone angry and they will regress. At the same time, having abundance may also make us angry and regress. Each of us experience what we decide to create as we progress spiritually. This does not mean you should not work toward creating a large abundance. What it does mean is what you think you will create. Asking for your spirit teacher's help in guiding you to abundance makes the transition from the path of lack to one of abundance a much easier journey. Your spirit team helped you create your destiny in this life. They know if you are predestined to have abundance of money or if you decided to experience a life of frugality. They also know if you have balanced any karma you have with money, thereby helping you to release your thoughts of lack so you can create abundance. This is very simply put, but it's not exactly simply manifested. Our spirit team does know our vibration. They know most of all everything about us. They know if we are using money as a tool to hold power over someone's head. They know if that we have created a situation in which we struggle with abundance created by fear, having lack, and how we need to move through that. But we have free will. All they can do is set on our path the opportunity for us to release our fears, for us to come into a more abundant future. It's oftentimes we think we need the money to purchase, okay? But there's raffle tickets that are being sold every day in the city that auctions off a house. So if you want a house instead of an apartment, you automatically go, I've got to save the money for the down payment. And that becomes more of a sense of reminder that there is lack in your world because you're having to put sometimes $100 aside. Sometimes you might put 300. You might put your income tax return. And sometimes you may only put in $1 or two. But you see that as I have to work hard. I have to see it to create it. I have to build it. I have to build the energy. I have to, instead of just allowing it to happen. What if you came across somebody who was your neighbor and they said, I would really like to get out from under this house that I have. It's a second home. My children, I thought I would buy it for them so that they could live in it and they could build their families, whichever child wanted. And both of them moved out of town. And so this is just, I'm paying property taxes on this. And it's becoming run down because I'm loaning it out to renters. Would you be interested in purchasing it on a real estate contract? And there you have your house for the exact same money that you have in rent. It's our problem where we get in the way of how the abundance flows. We make a decision on how it should come to us, how that abundance and love should come to us. So we have relationships and we have this concept about how that abundance and love should come to us in the aspect of they must do this for me. If they truly love me, they need to show me this. They need to help me with that. They need to do this. And we forget we're the other half of that relationship and we're the other half of the should do's. The people I find that are the happiest are the ones that find the contentment in being alone and find somebody who vibrates at the same frequency that they do. So your spirit team can do whatever they can to help you come into higher consciousness in order to meet your material needs. But if you've already decided how that looks, if you've already decided how that's going to be created for you, then how can they help? Now, I tell people this all the time. If you name your spirit team angels or guides or my peeps or my spirit team, whoever that energy stands for, you need to put your trust into them helping you rid yourself of the concept of the thought process that it must be only one way. Because the minute you've decided this is the way it is, then that's the way it shall be. That's the way you will create it. If you want to make it more freeing, more joyful, more exciting, then you raise your consciousness and say, you know what, I'm going to accept the house the way it comes to me. I don't need somebody to buy it for me. It'd be nice if they do. I don't need somebody to give it to me. I'll accept that too. But I also don't have to work diligently and hard and suffer. That's what 3D thinking is really about. It's about moving past that fear. I need to suffer to have. Our material needs are met. A lot of people, based on our expectation of what those material needs look like. So some people are really happy to find a warm coat and a corner where the wind doesn't catch them and they don't freeze in the wintertime. And they can stay in that warm corner and the sun comes out and it gives them a sense of well-being because the sun is out and they feel that's abundance. And that's good because they've moved past the construct of what we demand to be abundant. And they can move up faster than we can because there is no expectation of how it looks. They're just grateful for what is. We can do that ourselves. We don't have to worry about the fear of what happens if this happens. Well, if you're worried about what happens when this happens, then you're going to find out because that's what you created. You're going to create the what if this happens. And that will happen. And so then you'll have everything, you'll have your answer. You'll have a way to work through yet another problem that is keeping you in lack. So understanding that some people will fight you, they will begrudge your abundance, and as long as you feel guilty for having the abundance or material goods that you have, and you worry about, oh well, my sister doesn't have this, or my brother, his family needs this more than I. If you have that situation come up repeatedly in your life, then you're going to end up giving it away, or losing it somehow so that you can be equal to the vibration that they seem to hold. So your better bet is to try to get them to raise their consciousness and get them out of the concept of lack. Remember, as we heal our thought processes, our wounds, our concepts of what is, then we help the generations above us and the generations below us. And that means the generations that go to the side, the ones that are right in there with us. I had a family member who was so envious of other people that she would take things and seek to destroy them. I've had pictures destroyed. I've had my china taken out into my driveway and smashed, all because I had a family member who was angry. And I let them be angry. And I lived in fear of their anger. So their anger was invited to come back to me time and time again until I said, no, I think I'm done with this, and we're good. So we can let these things go and still love the person who's bringing the anger to our table, but we don't have to vibrate at that frequency. All we have to do is raise our level of awareness and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to love them anyways, and I'm going to move on from that situation in which anger is created. Reminding ourselves that we have the opportunity to be more than, to bring forth a higher level of awareness, also lets us be more joyful, because we let go of the fear. It's all about letting go of the shoulda, woulda, couldas, the fear of, the lack of, the consciousness that creates negative thought processes and negative energy in our life. Just moving on with it, laughing at it, and saying, hey, I'm going to be the best me because I am wonderful. My life is fantastic and it's getting better every day. And you hold that in your thoughts, then your spirit team will come in, they'll work with you, they'll bring you opportunities. And they don't really bring the opportunities, they're just going to point it out that you're doing well. You're going to create the opportunities. They're just there to help you see them more clearly and to help you move through. So if I were going to be asking my spirit team for things, I would be asking them to show me where I was blocking myself, because then I could create a different life. Then I could create more joy. And as we bring that light to ourselves, we can share it with others, and that increases our light. When we're so worried about we're just doing what we need to do because we're only taking care of us, then you will live a solitary life there. You should want your neighbors to have an abundant garden so that they can share the watermelon and the cucumbers and the tomatoes and the vegetables that they bring out of their garden if you're not a good gardener. So taking over things and supporting their efforts will reap you a share of joy. You'll find your food is more fresh. You'll find your food is more fulfilling, even if you're still buying it from the grocery store. But you've put the energy into supporting each other to higher consciousness and to more abundance, then you're going to get more because you shared more. With that, I'll tell you guys, have a nice weekend. My heart to all of yours. I hope you enjoy your day, and we will see you next Friday when we talk about prayers. My heart to yours. Bye for now.